Hello wonderful people, it's Wild here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build this small medieval castle. This build can be styled to have a fantasy feel and makes for a great starter base. This build features several turrets and is surprisingly spacious for having a small footprint, giving you lots of space to decorate or for survival needs. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video to see how I decorated the outside of this build, and if you'd like a world download, check out my Patreon. The materials you'll need for this build are on your screen now. It's always a good idea to have a few extra of each supply on hand. Here is the outline for our castle. You can see we've got all of the sections marked out, and you can put in an outline like this one to help you build. I recommend starting in one corner like up here and counting your way down, and then working around the rest of the build. We're going to start our castle construction by working on this back rectangle here, and I'm going to begin by building 9 high in each corner with stone brick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now that I've got those posts in, we're going to be placing some stone bricks going off like this, starting at the top and working our way down. And you can see I'm skipping every other block here. And this is going to add some nice detail to our corners. There we go. I'm going to mark in our doorways next, and these are centered on this side going in towards that large turret, and then facing in towards the build here in the center. Next, I'm going to take some cobble, and on the back wall and this outer side wall, I'm going to place a row along the bottom like this. Next, we're going to go in with our windows. So on this short side, we're going to be having 2 going up 5 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be a 3 block gap between them and a 1 block gap between them and our stone brick. Now coming around to the back side, I'm going to be first placing in 2 1 block away from here, 5 high. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on either edge like that. Then I'm going to find the center, which is here, and that should be 3 blocks away from each of these 2 windows, and I'll have a 6 block high window. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 1 block taller. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in all of these walls up to the height of 2 below the top. So that's 1 above the window like this, and right beside the window here. Now I've done those 3 walls. We need to do this front wall next, but before I fill it all in, I'm going to build 3 up above this door and place in another door location on top of there. And then just like before, I can go ahead and fill in this wall up to that 2 block below height. So that will take me to here. There we go. Walls are based in. We're going to add a little bit to the top now. I'm going to start by placing a stone diagonally down on each corner like this. And I can fill in the rest of that layer with cobble. Then grabbing some more of the stone, I'm going to skip this block and place 1 on every other block going across. Again, I'll end up being 1 block away from that stone. Over here we'll do the same thing, just placing in 2 on the back side and on the other side. And the rest can be filled in with cobble again. And there we go, look at that, we've got a good base for the first part of the build. Now we're going to move on and work on this larger turret that connects up to this square section. I'm going to start by building up 10 high in the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now for here, this is just going to be on these 2 points. And you should find that that is 1 block above the height of these walls. Now that we've got that in place, we're going to alternate between cobblestone and stone brick on either side. You should end up with cobble at the very top. We're also going to do the same thing 3 blocks over here. And over at the front as well. There we go, now we need to fill in these 3 panels. So over on this side and on the back, we're going to build up 6 high with cobble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll have a 2 high window in the center, and I can surround the rest of this with some cobblestone. And again over here at the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then at the front, we're going to build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high. And mark in a spot right here in the center for a doorway. And then the rest can again be surrounded with some cobble. Oh, I missed 1 layer at the top there. There we go. Next, I'm coming inside the build and we're going to fill in both floor areas here with some spruce planks. Now you can use any kind of wood you like. I'll be using spruce throughout the whole of this build, but you could easily substitute it for cherry for a different look. Dark oak would look great too. Any of the woods would look great really. It would just have a slightly different feel. And over in here as well, let's fill this in. While I'm at it, I'm also going to place down a few torches. This is very important in survival, but it's also helpful in creative because you don't want any mobs spawning. They're a pain to clear out. Now that that floor's in, I'm going to grab some polished andesite and regular andesite, and I'm going to alternate between them going all the way around this square edge. Now that that's done, we're going to fill in the gaps between here as well as over on this turret using some slabs, but I am going to leave out a couple of gaps. I'll count 2 in here and place in some sort of temporary block, and then I'm going to place a temporary block here to remind me not to fill those in. Okay, let's continue filling this in with the same checkerboard pattern. Now we can get working on the next layer of this turret. I'm first going to build 7 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with some of the stone brick here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's just on top of where we already had stone brick. I'll then count 5 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block, which should be just in front of this block we marked off, I'll build up 7 high as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 over again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that should bring us to here. And you can check that these are in the right locations as they should be diagonally in from these 2 rows of cobble. Like we did before, I'm going to alternate now between the cobble and this stone brick. And I should start with stone brick and finish with stone brick. I'm going to start by marking in the location for the door here. That's 2 blocks high. And then I can surround this with some cobblestone. On the other 3 sides, I'm going to place a row of cobblestone at the base with a 3 high window on top. And I'll surround that as well. I'm then going to place a stone in the center above that window and surround it with some more cobble. Now to finish off this panel here, I'm going to be adding in a 1 high window above the door. I'll surround that with some cobble, and then I'll add in a stone and surround that with some cobble, and we should have finished off our walls now. On top of here, we're going to add another row of flooring, but I'll leave out the same hole here, so that is going to be right here. I'm going to start by going around the edges with some blocks. And then filling in the rest with some slabs. And don't forget to light up this layer as we go as well. Moving on to the front of our castle now, I'm working on this small turret. I'm going to start by placing a few cobblestone around the base. Like this. I'm then going to build a 5 high window on these two sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And I'll build up all of these walls to one above that window. Around on this side, we're going to create a small doorway. I'm going to count 2 blocks up, and on the third, I'll place in an upside down stair. 2 of them facing towards each other like this, and I can continue the wall on top of that. Then I'm going to grab some stone and I'm going to place these in the center of each of these sides and place some cobble in between that. Next, to top this all off, we're going to create a checkerboard pattern with our andesite. And fill in the rest with some slabs, leaving out a 1 block hole over here for our ladder. And that's the base of that turret done. Next, we're going to be working on this turret here. I'm going to start by breaking these 6 blocks here, so a 3x2 square, and filling that in with some spruce. I'm then going to place in some chests, a couple rows of these. Now you don't have to do this in creative, but in survival this is the perfect place to tuck some hidden storage. There we go, and now we can work on the rest of the build. For this first layer, I'm going to build up 5 high in the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're using this same corner design the whole way around the build, and this helps tie everything together so it looks like a cohesive build. And I'm going to fill in the gaps between all of these designs with some cobble. Then over the top of these chests, I'm going to be placing in 3 cobblestone stairs placed upside down like that. I'm also going to mark out this little 2 high gap for a doorway. You can see it's set 1 in from the center. Then the rest of the walls are just going to be filled in with cobble. Now I'm going to grab some stone brick and build up another 7 high on this stone brick here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as well as the other 3 corners. I'll continue the design that we already have going, so that means I'm going to start with cobble next. And I'll also be finishing with cobble for this turret. Now on this wall here, so that's the one facing towards the back, and the outer side wall, I'm going to place in 3 more cobble and then build up 4 high for a window in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should bring me 2 below the top. Then on this side, which is facing in towards this other turret, I'm going to mark in a doorway. Now this one is centered here, like this. I'm then going to place 2 cobblestone on top of that and place in a window. Then around on the front of the build, above where we have our chests, I'm going to place in another doorway. This time it's set off to one side like that. I'm then going to place 2 more cobble on top of here and then 1 coming into the center, so that way I can place in a glass block. I'm going to fill in the rest of the walls now with cobble, finishing 1 block below the top. Then when I've finished that like that, I'm going to add in some stone here and here and add in the final cobble. So again, we'll fill up 1 below the top, add in our stone and our final cobble. To finish off the top of this turret, we're going to go around the outside edge with alternating blocks of andesite and polished andesite. And we're creating the same floor pattern as we have going throughout the rest of the build. I'm going to leave room for a ladder just here so I can place in a temporary block for that, and we're going to fill the rest in with our slabs. There we go, now I'm inside this turret. I'm actually going to come down here and I'm going to replace this floor with some spruce planks. And I can break through this temporary door and place some spruce planks in there. I can add back in my torches now, and I'm going to add in another floor right below where we have these doorways, remembering to keep that block there free because we have our ladder going in there. And for this, I'm just going to use some slabs to create the same checkerboard pattern. There we go, outside to work on the rest of the build now. The next step is to connect all of these sections up with some walls. We've got some important details to add after that, but the walls are going to help tie everything together. So I'm going to start by building up 3 high at the front here along these guidelines with some cobblestone. Just like this. I'm then going to place in 1 cobblestone followed by a chisel stone brick, 2 cobblestone and another stone brick, 2 more, a chisel stone brick, and then 1 more cobble on the end. So that one should be centered like this. I'm around at the left hand side now to fill in this wall. I'm going to build up 3 high once again. And then instead of starting with a cobblestone, we're going to start with a chisel stone brick, count 2, chisel stone brick, count 2, and finish again with a chisel stone brick. Now on this shorter right hand side, we're going to build up 3 blocks like we started with before, but this time I'm placing in 2 chisel stone brick with 1 block in between them. There we go. Next is the step of filling in this floor. So I'm going to stop here and not go between this doorway, but I can go ahead and break this block and connect it up to here, like that, and I can fill in within that turret as well. I've also come inside this area here and I've broken these 2 placeholder blocks to fill in that floor. Now we can come back out and we're going to work on the next layer on top of here. So I'm going to start at the front, adding in alternating blocks of andesite. Then I'm going to need to line myself up to continue the pattern. So I'm going to make my way around this turret here like this, just following along the checkerboard, so that way I know that I need to place in a polished andesite here. I'm going to do the same thing going around this way. And we're going to need a polished andesite again. And so for the rest of this area, I'm going to fill it in using the slabs. So here's what we've got so far. It's looking rather boxy, so we're going to add in the details now to really bring it to life. I'm going to start on this staircase here. I'm going to begin by placing a chiseled stone brick in these 2 locations. I'm then going to grab some stone bricks and I'm just following along this outline behind the chests like this. I'm now going to build 3 high here and 3 high here and place in a few walls. There we go, and 3 walls on this side as well. I'll then build up 2 high and place in 1 more wall, just finishing it off there. I'm then going to go along the top edge with some of these chiseled stone brick in the corner here, and I'm going to top everything off with a couple more stone bricks here and here, here and here, and a couple of slabs. Then coming it down this way, down the staircase, we're going to have some upside down stone brick stairs, and we're using some spruce stairs for our flooring. Finishing with one spruce plank at the very top. Next, we're going to work on the castle-like texture along these wall edges. I'm going to start by placing a cobblestone wall in front of each of the chiseled stone brick here like this. I'm then going to take a stone block and place it above each of those. I've got some cobblestone stairs next, and I'm creating these small archways like this. And I'm placing a stone button on each of the stone blocks. Alright, now coming up to this edge, I'm going to start on this side with the chiseled stone brick, and I'll place one on every other block. Then, excluding this block, I'll place a slab on top of them. Then we've got some stone brick walls going in between each. There we go. Also on the front of these two walls, we're going to be placing in some chiseled stone brick here and here, with a stone stair on top. Onto the next side, I'm going to start off by placing in my chiseled stone brick at the bottom with my stone stairs on top. There we go. Onto the next layer up, we're going to place in our cobblestone walls to begin with and our stone on top. So this is the same pattern as we have on the front, but you can see that we're starting with our stone or our cobblestone walls right on the edges this time. And once again at the top, we're going to alternate between these blocks and some walls. Now for the slabs, I'm going to leave out this slab here, but I'll place them on the top of the remaining three, and I'm going to place in my buttons next. So that's how this wall looks. Now over to the other side. Now for this side, we've got a smaller amount of space to work with. We're going to start by placing in 2 chiseled stone brick with our stone stairs on top. But this time we've got these placed closer together. So we've got our 2 walls here with our stone on top of that. I'm going to now place a slab in the center, a cobblestone slab, and then 2 stairs going off to either side. So it's like this. Then to finish it off in keeping with the other designs, we've got our 2 buttons, a couple of these chiseled stone bricks, some walls, and finally I'm going to leave this one out and place in the slabs here and here. Next, we're going to work on the crenellation around this square section here. I'm going to be placing a chiseled stone brick, one apart all the way around the build onto this andesite layer. And of course, I'll need to stop where we have our turret joining in here, and re-continue on the other side. Now in between each of these, I'm going to place in an upside down stone brick stair. Then one in on each side, I'll place in a stair coming down. Underneath each of these chiseled stone bricks and the stairs, I'm going to be placing in a stone brick wall. And then I'm going to be placing a stone brick on top of each of these, and then we'll go in with some walls and slabs. Wall time next. And slabs on top. Now we're going to come down to the base of this build and add in a little bit of decoration to here. I'm going to be placing a chiseled stone brick on the corners, followed by 2 walls, an upside down one and a right way up one, and then a right way up wall, or rather stairs underneath there. We've got our chiseled stone brick, our 2 stairs, and our 2 walls. Now around here we're going to add some decorations. I'm going to build up 3 high, 1, 2, 3, with some walls in each of these corner joins. And then I'm going to add some decorations to the front faces. I'll place a chiseled stone brick in the center, followed by an upside down stone brick stair, a right way up one facing outwards like this, and then one more on top. So it's got this nice curved shape. Let's do this on the other sides here. And then we've finished off this side so we can work on the base of this turret. For this turret, we're simply going to take our stone brick walls and build them all the way up to the height of the wall, so I'm stopping below the andesite there. One thing that's important to remember here is that you'll need to come inside on top of this floor and place in your last few walls. Next, I'm going to go in with some chiseled stone brick, and I'm placing these in each corner and on the center of each face. And I've got some walls now. They're placed in upside down, or rather stairs here. There we go. And then for the crenellations on this smaller turret, I'm just going to be placing in some blocks here, going all the way around, and then some slabs instead of walls. So it has a slightly shorter profile. To finish that off, I'm going to add in a few stone brick walls. These are going in the center and front of each of these stones. There we go. Now up to this turret, I'm going to be placing in some chiseled stone brick to begin with. And like we had over here, we're going to be placing our stairs in between. I'll also place a stair coming down on each of the chiseled stone brick that are in the corners. And we'll also place in some walls coming down from here. Coming up, we need to create our crenellation, so we're going in with some of the stone brick to start with. And then right down there, we're going to be using our walls and our slabs. So you can see how great this design looks over here. Now we're going to work on the base of this turret. We've already got these chiseled stone bricks and stairs on this corner because we've got our staircase. But I'm actually going to add one more coming up here like that. Then on the other sides, I'm going to add in a chiseled stone brick with 2 stairs. There we go, like that. Now over to this large turret to add in the design at the top. I'm going to start with some chiseled stone brick, placing 3 on each of the faces. Next, I'm going in with some upside down stone brick stairs. And for the corners, I'm going to place in one stair like this and then rotate to place in another. And then again, like that. Then I can place in a chiseled stone brick in between them. There we go. We've also got some stairs coming down like this. And after that, we're going to go in with some walls. So I've got stone brick walls coming down from each of the stairs. And then in the corners, I'm going to be placing in a couple of cobblestone walls. Now up top, we're going to work on our crenellation. So I'm going to place in 3 stone brick like this. And then I'm going to place 1 in the corner. So you'll notice that all of the stone brick we're placing in here are on top of the chiseled stone bricks. Now we need to place in the walls. So these ones here aren't going to connect up, but that's alright. You also can't walk through them, so it is still a safe barrier. With all of those in, we'll add in our slabs. There we go. Alright, let's take a step back and have a look at the build now. It's looking much better, but we still have some more details. This detail is mainly going to be working with some spruce and adding in some extra details, but we're going to start down here at the door. So I'm going to be adding in a couple of cobblestone stairs and then a slab in the center to create a small archway. Then I'm going to come inside the build. I'm going to be creating a little archway out of trapdoors. I don't need those two in the center, but you can see I've created a door frame. And then I can place a spruce door looking from the inside to create a door like this. Now let's work on the windows on this small turret. I'm going to start by placing some rooted dirt around the base. And I'll surround that with some spruce trapdoors. I'm also going to place in some planters on either side of the door. There we go. Now up to this window frame, I'm going to be placing an upside down stair with stairs on either side, followed by 2 more upside down stairs and 2 fences. Over to this window, let's do the same thing. Like this. While we've got this design in our head, we're going to come around to this back wall and work on these windows. So the tops of the windows are going to be just the same. But then I'm going to add slabs at the base here and connect all the way up with my spruce fences. I'm also going to be taking some iron bars and placing them in front of the window. And I'm going to create this design around on these 2 windows. If you're enjoying today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you consider liking and subscribing, and check out my Patreon if you'd like to access some additional benefits like world downloads and access to a multi-world server. Coming up now to work on this section of the build, we're going to add in our door. So I'll break these 2 blocks and I'm going to place in a door here. For the frame, I'll place in some stone brick walls followed by some spruce fences. Then we'll create an arch using some stairs and a slab in between them. And I'm going to create this same design over here and here. So for this side, I'm going to just place the fence on top of there as we've got our chiseled stone brick in there. And I'm going to need to do the same thing over here. Coming up to this door up here, we're going to start by creating the same design with our small archway. And don't forget the door as well. But then we're going to continue it to create a frame for this window. Just like this. Now for all of the other windows on the build, we're going to be placing slabs at the base, slabs at the top, a couple of spruce fences, and some iron bars. So let's do this all the way around the build. The final door we need to decorate is down here. So I'm going to break these blocks and add in my doorway. Then for this door, we're just creating a simple archway. Just like this. Next, I'm going to create a planter at the base of here. It's going to be 5 wide and I'm surrounding it with spruce trapdoors. I'm also going to create a planter on this side of the build. This is going to be 3 wide. There we go. Next, we're going to go to each of the turrets. On this turret, I'm going to build up 3 high in the center with a stripped spruce log. Then I'll place some spruce stairs going around it, with a few spruce trapdoors as well. On top of this, I'll build 6 high with spruce fences. And I'm going to create a flag coming off of here. Now you can use whatever color you like. I'm going to be using white and purple. I think it has a wonderful, almost fantasy vibe. And you just want to create a nice swerving shape like this. And I like to have the purple extend a little bit out from the end. There we go, so that's one flag done. I'm going to create the same flag post over here, and I'm going to make my flag curve a little bit differently, but I've got to make sure it's going in the same direction. 1, 2, 3. Then we've got our stairs and our trapdoors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, flag time. Let's see, I think this time I'm going to curve it backwards. Then we'll come forwards a little bit, I think. There we go. And we've got some purple. And finish it off. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Alright, I think that looks wonderful. Let's come down and do this one next. Now for this one, I'm going to make our flag post a little bit shorter. But I'm still going to be placing the stairs and the trapdoors. Now for this one, I'm just building up 5 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I'm also going to have a smaller flag here. Let's have a look at all of those flags. We're going to be creating some more planters next. So I'm going to come down to the front here. I'm counting 1 block away and placing in 3 of my rooted dirt. Now, of course, if you don't have rooted dirt, you could switch that out for some coarse dirt, which is a mixture of our gravel and our dirt, or you can place in some dirt up here as well. The reason I haven't used dirt down here is the grass will grow into it. Okay, coming up to the top, we're going to place in a few more. We've got one on either side of the door here. And then I'm going to place a few where I can grow some things. So I'm going to be using some farmland here, and I'm creating a little planter on this side. And don't forget to place in your water. If you're building this in creative, you could place in some more decorative planters here using some flowers. I'm also going to place another larger one at the back here. So let's see, I'm going to come 2 in, then I'll have a gap for some water. Let's do this coming from the other side as well. 2 in, a gap for some water, and we'll fill in there. I also like to place a trapdoor in this water gap here. You can see it's still flooded, but it just disguises the water a little bit. I'm down at the front here and I'm going to add in 1 more of these planters, making sure I'm using my farmland here. There we go, and don't forget to surround it with some trapdoors. And then we're going to head inside and work on a couple of the floors. Almost there. And our final trapdoor. Okay, I'm inside the large section of the build now, and I'm going to quickly add in some lights. I'm going to have one on either side of the door, and you'll notice I'm placing in an extra slab here. I'm not going to be able to hang some lanterns directly from this otherwise. I think I'm going to line some up at the back here and add in a few more. There we go, and I can get rid of all of these torches now. I'm going to add one over here as well. And I'll hang that from a chain. While I'm in this space, I'm going to add in my ladder. There we go, coming back down. And I can come into this space as well and hang a light from here. And we've got to add our ladder going up this way. Let's add a light in this room. I'm hanging this one from a chain. There we go. Okay, back down. And over and across into this room. So we've got this door here, and I'm going to have a little mezzanine level here. So I'm going to start with a spruce stair, and I'm going to come 3 over to either side. I'm then going to take another stair, and I'm going to be placing them in like this. Now I'm going to grab some spruce slabs. I'm placing one in here, one in here. I'm going to place one in here but leave this gap free. Then we're going to go in with a few more slabs now, and these are coming in front like this. So it should look like this from above. I'm going to grab some sort of temporary block and just place them along this top edge, and I'll place in some trapdoors off of this. I can remove that now. And I've got to place in a couple more here and here. And then we've got our ladder, so that's going to come up this edge here. And I'm going to have one more trapdoor just coming in front of it. I'm also going to be placing some trapdoors up the side of the ladder. And that should connect up to that stair. I can also go ahead and break this block and add a ladder going up to the roof. Like that. And we can add some lights to this space. So I'm going to center myself and place in a few slabs, and then we can hang some chains down. I think I'll hang 2, then 1, and then 2 on this side as well. There we go. And I might even hang 1 lantern from a slab here. Let's head into this room next. So we've got this doorway here, so we need to add a ladder and another layer. So let's break this block and add a ladder going all the way up. And we can break the block at the top. Coming back down, I'm going to use some slabs to create a floor. Once again, continuing the checkerboard pattern. There we go. And then I like to take a few spruce trapdoors and place them alongside the ladder. And I'm going to do this on each of the layers. And last but not least, in here we need to add in our lighting. Then we'll head back outside to finish off the details and decorate. So I have finished all of my decorating outside here, and I'm just adding in a few lanterns now. So I'm going and I'm hanging these from each of the corners here and over this side, and let's see, I might hang one from each of the corners on this section of the build as well. Then we'll take a step back and have a look at these decorations. You can also see as I'm flying around that I've hung some of these purple striped banners to tie in with the flags up top. Okay, let's come round to the front and have a look. So you can see that I've stuck to the color palette of the purple and the white for all of my planting. And I've brought in some of these amethyst crystals for a fantasy touch. I've planted wheat in each of my planters, and so I've planted some of that outside the castle as well to tie everything together. I think the warm tones in the wheat tie in well with the kind of warm tones in the spruce wood there. You can also see I've mirrored these purple flags on the other side of the road I've built with these 2 warrior statues. And I've got a little hay cart or a travelling cart on the side. Perhaps it's travelled in from the town over to the castle. This build is such a great base. With all of this space, there's plenty of room to decorate. And if you're looking for some decorations to use inside and outside a medieval style build like this one, make sure you check out the tutorials in the description down below. So now you've got an awesome medieval castle. Be sure to join my Discord to share some pictures of your builds, and I'd really appreciate it if you consider liking and subscribing. See you in another video!